Good morning. Welcome to First Church of Religious Science here in New York City. Welcome to our Zoom call, to our virtual gathering. We're actually a hybrid center now, meaning we have people come into our center in New York, but the vast majority of you are watching on Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, X, and I believe some of the other programs. So this is a place where we come together, where hearts and minds can join in the pursuit of a deeper understanding of spirit, of healing, connection, a connection with essence, the power of the source that animates all of us. Today, as we gather on our Zoom call, I know many of you are still signing in, and some of you have been here for our meditation. I want to be sure to extend a welcome to everyone. As I say, we're broadcasting everyone on the Zoom. We're also broadcasting to many people who are watching us on Facebook, on YouTube, X, and the other channels. So I'm thrilled that you're all here. If you can join us on Zoom at any time, please send your contact information. We'd love to include you because there's a time of personal sharing that's very wonderful when you're able to join us on Zoom. Thank you, everyone, for your generosity, your loyalty, and what you're doing to help us grow the center. We're reaching out to people all over the country and really all over the world now, which is quite extraordinary. So your engagement, all your interaction, and the love, the letters that we get are somewhat mind-boggling. All I can say is thank you, and Jimmy, thank you, and we all are very grateful. We're grateful to witness so many of you embracing the teaching, and that's evident by your personal sharing. There's a time, if you're new, where people have an opportunity to share usually after most gatherings. And, you know, the wisdom that's shared is really extraordinary. And the other thing is it shows us that people are putting the teaching to work. They're practicing. And that's really the best. That's the best validation that anyone who could ever get, who presents the material, is to hear people working with it. For anyone who's new to the gathering, my most warm welcome. I want to say to you now, or if you're listening during the week, if you want to be more involved, send us a message. We do send out an e-letter most every week, which is the pastor's message and Jimmy's message, and we have links to some interesting things into all of our classes. So be sure that we have your contact information. And I don't really know how technology works myself, but what I would say is send it by a private message, and Jimmy will get it and we will have it. Many of you have found yourself through Meetup and all kinds of other ways. I can't even begin to know how you found us, but I'm glad you found us. Your presence enriches us, and we eagerly anticipate your insights and all the perspectives you will be bringing today and in the future. Again, we always have time for personal sharing at the end of every gathering, so please say hello. You might say, I'm from Arizona or Vermont or wherever you are. That's a nice way for us to get to know one another. Some people feel they have to share after the, I do a lesson. You don't. You can pass. Some people are shy, so you don't feel compelled. It's just that we would love to hear from you. Say hello if you can, or make a comment if you'd like to. So, again, I appreciate all the goodwill, the numbers of people. I've had many phone calls this week. We're always seeming to fall behind now, so we're working on getting more organized. So as I look out at this vast group of people who I'm getting to know more and more every week, first thing I want to say is that you're all amazing. What this teaching is about ultimately is for you to learn to love yourself and to realize that you're one with spirit, that you have everything you need. Deep at the center of your being is an infinite well of love and good and ability, and life has to respond to you. I'll say it in different ways every week, You are a point of power within the mind of Spirit or God. You are a point of love within the heart of God. You are one with the one. My third year of becoming a practitioner and minister, at least on the ministerial track, we spent a year just talking about the word oneness in every class, because we'd want to talk about what someone has done or doing and, all that type of stuff, And the teacher, of course, was trying to get us to release the need to be in the blame game and talk about what we are creating, what we're co-creating, what I'm creating someone to be. Like I could be creating someone to be an angel or a good person, a nice person, or I could be creating them to be something altogether different, as you can imagine. And when you get involved in this teaching, the teachers will gently guide you back to realize that you live, you move, you have your being in this divine activity and nothing else. And ultimately, you'll come to the conclusion that spirit is all that there is. Now, I used to use the word God. God is all that there is, but over time, I've learned that sometimes that word triggers people. So, in my classes, I was told there's 1,000 different names you can use for this creative intelligence, and they're all good. And no one of those names will ever totally embody the idea of it. It's always going to be greater than any name I could ever call it. Dr. Holmes in the textbook called it the thing itself. Wrote a chapter of what it does and how it works and things like that. So the thing to understand in a metaphysical or a New Thought center is there is this thing and we're immersed in it. We live in it, we move in it, we have our being in it, and it responds to us. Every thought you think, it responds to you, it responds to me. I've told my story so many times, but I won't tell the whole thing again today because I mentioned it only a couple weeks ago. The universe responds to you because that's what it does. It's what it has to do. Many years ago, some of you saw the movie The Secret, and there was a big genie up in the sky. And he only had one good line in the movie. And his line was, "Your wish is my command." Now, he's representing spirit, of course. Your wish is my command. So that should cue you into something, the idea that the universe is always saying yes to you. Yes, 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 yes. Your wish, what you hold dear to your heart, what you believe, it says yes to, and it responds to you affirmatively. If we know that, then we think, okay, everything I think is being acted upon, every thought I think. I'd be inclined to say the tendency of my thoughts for my studies, it's not any one thought, but the overall tendency of my thoughts, the universe responds to. So if I carry around a consciousness of the sky is falling like Chicken Little, or if I'm doom and gloom, if that's basically what my programming is, because we all learn this is all learned behavior, then my life is going to reflect, these fearful and negative thoughts. And I don't want that. Once I realized how it worked, or how it works, I thought, God, I got to be smart enough to figure it. If you know that life is responding to you, then it makes sense that we want to learn how to use our thoughts. Dr. Holmes said we have authority, we have executive power. And so as you think of an executive as a person who executes, he or she makes decisions in his or her life. So we have the ability to make decisions. We don't have to keep on going down the same road. And there's a thing from 12-step programs. You go down the road, you go around the corner, and you fall into the hole in the sidewalk. And you do that about 5 or 6 times, and eventually something comes upon you. And you decide, I'm going to make another decision. I'm going to take another route. Well, that's really what this teaching, is going to suggest to you. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, or you're in these places where you've been down all these roads before, you can certainly take a different route. It's entirely up to you. We've been given the gift of free will. And in addition to free will, something very beautiful that we have also is we have an internal guidance system. We have spirit. So we have the ability to decide to pick and choose. That's the executive power that Ernest Holmes was speaking about. In addition to that, we have within us spirit. And Emerson would have suggested that spirit is always wooing you. Some people will say spirit is guiding you. I will tell you there is an internal guidance system in me, and I know when I'm off track. And I think most of you do also. And all that is needed is a few course corrections. When you're working against your highest and best, I think you feel it. I know I do. And then it's an adjustment. So we work by first living, what we're called to do is live the affirmative life, a metaphysical life, seeing the good in all. That's really the place of beginning, is knowing that there is one power, one energy, and there's nothing else. I could read you poems, I could almost recite them. God and I in space alone, with nothing else in view. Where are the people, the dead I once knew? I'm missing a stanza here. And the great God says, nay, they have ceased to be. There has never been anything except me, meaning we live in God, we move in God. We're given the gift of awareness that I'm alive and I'm awake in it, and it's responding to me. That's what it does for me, for all of us. There's power for good in the universe, Ernest Holmes said, and we can use it. We're always using it. So we want to start using it constructively rather than destructively. If I'm on a negative train of causation, I'm really on a roll with negativity, you got to know where it's going to take me, right? I've learned to stop in the name of love whenever I see myself going there, when I go towards the blame game where there's grievances. I remember all my books. One of them is Love Holds No Grievances, the relinquishment of attack. Wherever and however I see myself going down that road, I'm lost. It's the prodigal son story all over. I'm off in the weeds. I'm really not centered in God awareness. So that's that's the work. So remembering and forgetting. When you remember who you are, that I'm one with the one, I'm one with God, one with Source, and then I'm co-creating with life, and things work. And I remember a lot now because I stay plugged in, plus I teach it, so I have to keep reminding myself. If you're very new to the call, in 12-step meetings, they used to say, if you're too busy for meetings, you're too busy. In other words, you've got to put your recovery first. This is not the same thing, but it's similar. If you tune in often, we're going to continually remind you of how wonderful you are and that you deserve the best. It was said to me 35 years ago, this is a first-class teaching for first-class people. And I thought, that sounds weird. And what the teacher was trying to have us see is you deserve a much better life than what you've been letting yourself have. And the only way you're really going to get one is by changing your thinking. Change your thinking, change your life. Louise Hay wrote the huge, biggest bestseller in New Thought books ever. You can heal your life. So she's so smoothly and beautifully teaching the very same things I'm talking about. Every thought you think is creating your future. I love myself the way I am. There's nothing that I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange. Louise was amazing. She would teach principle. And the principle is what the exam question for the ministers. How would you talk about principle? They would ask me an exam question. And I would tell them. And then they would say, your job is to get as excited as possible about principle every single Sunday and let people know that life is responding to them. That's the divine principle. So here I am, some 40 years later, saying life is responding to you because that's what it does. Your wish is its command. Your consciousness is being reflected all the time in your world. It's not a matter of being right or being wrong or any of that stuff. It's just letting you know that you live and move and have your being in divine substance, and this substance is alive in you and it responds to you. It has no choice. That's what it does. It doesn't play favorites. It doesn't love this person more than this person. Each of us are individualizations of this divine activity. We were a success from the very moment we started. So our value can't be quantified or calculated. Every encounter we have is a holy encounter because we're always seeing God is meeting God in every place. You see it as you look out into your window. Everything you see in nature is it. Every person you encounter is part of it. We're not here to judge a thing. We're here to live in appreciation of the abundance that is absolutely everywhere all the time. So this would be called the high calling of a practitioner, a minister, or a sincere student. He or she are here. They're learning to take the mystical approach to life. They're here to see the good. This was the message, when Jesus was dealing with his mother who wanted him elsewhere. You hear me talk about that from time to time. And he said, I need to be about my Father's business. He had grown to a point where he wasn't interested in a lot of the things that he might have been interested before. Each of us are, our life is not a dress rehearsal. We've all evolved, we've all grown, we're growing still, and we're going to grow more. But I don't, you get to a point where you realize, I don't have time for this stuff anymore. It might have been attractive to me once. I might have participated in it. It could have interested me. I'll call it trivial pursuits, the stuff I might have been interested in when I was at a younger age or something. But at any age, as you're growing spiritually, you're always going to be trading in lesser things for greater things. Our whole life is really about evolution. I had a great teacher, Dr. Bill, who used to say, we're evoluting along. And he would be talking about me as a student. I'm evolving. And he would be speaking about himself. He's evolving. He would be saying the whole darn world is evolving. Knowledge is, human knowledge is doubling, every few days. It's fascinating. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable on one hand, but it's true. And then we're also growing spiritually. The things that would interest you now are not the same things that would interest you probably 10 or 20 years ago. I remember the song, I Haven't Got Time for the Pain. You remember that song, some of you. It's just that you're in a different place now. You can look back in your life and think, oh my God, all these things happened and they all brought me to be right where I am right now. And it's exciting and it's interesting because you can see the hand of the divine in all of it. And you think, oh my goodness, I went through so much. And now you get it. You start to see, okay, every single bit of it was necessary to bring me to the place where I am right now. Robin Williams starred in a movie. I can't remember the name of it right now. But in the end of it, he's being airlifted in a helicopter. And his comment was, remember everything. And he was smiling. And it was the world according to Garp. But the point was, he was doing what was done in the Celestine prophecy, which in that manuscript, it was having you look at the long view. You look back at 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years, or whatever it is, and you'll see the hand of God. You'll see your evolution. You'll see your growth. And all those awful things that you thought were awful at the time, you'll see how every single one of them was instrumental to you becoming the person you are and being where you are right now. In that movie, he was just, in his mind, he would think he was about to go transition. But he was smiling because he's looking, remembering how it all fit together. So in this teaching, we're so fortunate because we're awake in God. We're alive in God. And we realize that this, and if you don't like the word, please use another. We're awake in spirit. We're alive in spirit. And it responds. It responds to you. And oh, the places you can go. Each of us have come here into this world to be individuals, to express ourselves, really in great ways. We're individualizations of spirit. 1 in a billion. I've said, I think it was to Celia a few times, this subject. There's never been another one like you, and there never is going to be another one like you. And you have within you untapped potential to do just about anything you want. If you want healing, you can have healing. If you want to have a more expressive life, a more dynamic life, it's all available to you. If you're wanting healing, you can have healing. The mind, your consciousness has the ability to do just about anything. Through the years, I've been to every type of conference where I've seen every type of healing of people who were not supposed to heal, yet they healed. I worked early in the AIDS movement when there were a lot of people who were healing during that time when there wasn't medication. And where they didn't heal physically, they healed emotionally and they healed spiritually. Louise, when she wrote that book here in New York City from our church, she did all the case studies, I believe, mostly in New York. And she realized that there's patterns in us. She had cancer a few times and she had surgeries a few times. And she realized she needed to get at the underlying patterns in her where they would continue to do surgery. And she said eventually, surgery would not work. So we attract dis-ease. We create relationships that are sometimes tough, and we go through a lot. But something I've learned from Ernest Holmes and Bill Wilson both is suffering is not God ordained. That was Ernest Holmes. It's not that there's nothing in the universe that's working against you. Suffering's not God ordained. And Bill Wilson would have said misery is optional. So we have our problems because we have attachments. I want it to be this way. I need it to be this way. I need it. It's got to be this way. And the place we want to move to, Louise Hay would have said, I can say it in different ways. I trust in the process of life, I think is what Louise Hay said. I trust in the process of life. I release the need for worry. Each of us, all of us, are one with spirit, and we're all in the right place right now. You might find that hard to believe, but you are. And in each and every moment, you have the opportunity to choose to see it as good, to choose to see it as wonderful, to choose to see it as miraculous. You have the ability to name things. I've learned that one quite a while ago. It's the power of discernment. It's from another book that's very helpful to me. Will say, I could see peace instead of this. If I'm in a problem area and I'm in a conflict of some kind in my own mind, of my own making, which is where most of them are, you can say to yourself, I could see peace instead of this. Or I could say, I used to say, I don't know, was one of my favorites many years ago. And I had a great teacher, that was Dr. Bill. He says, Greg, there is that which is within you that knows. And I had to think about that. And he was correct. There is that which is within all of us that knows. So I don't want to abdicate my responsibility or the gifts that I possess. When you sit with yourself and you take a time out, a pause, as we say, and you sit and you're alone and you're quiet, and you ask yourself, what's the most self-loving thing I can do about this situation? I swear you'll always have the answer, because you have a direct connection with Spirit. Now, you might not have the willingness to do you're given the information, but then you might not have the willingness to carry forth and to do what comes to you. But you're that close, your breath, the next thought, it's always within you. You have an internal guidance system it's always there. You can turn your back on it, as in the poem from I Am There, James Dillard Freeman. And the poem will go, you may not, I can't remember the stanza. You may not see me, but I am there. It's always there. Spirit is always there. It's always in you, operating through you. So that's the good news. If you have that knowledge, then it comes to the place where you're fully equipped, completely equipped. You have all the access to all the answers. You have everything you need within you. Every day can be a new day, because you're going to know, like Raymond Charles Barker did, that you are the whole bit, meaning you have everything. And just because it didn't work out for you the past, God knows, 2 weeks, 2 years, you approach each new day, and I'll give you another expression, and you learn to be still here, be still now, be here now, and sit and listen. Ask the right questions. The answers always come. I've all my life realized that. I got that from my parents too. Wherever there was a place where there was an indecision between the two of them, they would sleep on it, and they'd made that a habit. And lo and behold, the next day or a day or two afterwards, they'd look at everything from a new perspective. All things are new. It works that way for me too. So take that pause, because Spirit is always with you. You have all the power in the world at your disposal. The power to start over, to start again, to know that yesterday ended last night. We have the power to look to this day and create a whole new life with the power of a decision. I've made a couple of decisions recently. I'm not going to tell you about them because I don't want to jinx them. I became intentional, I became centered, and I made a few decisions, and I absolutely know they're going to work out. I don't need to talk to anybody about it. I know how it works. I need to be centered in what I desire, and just keep on that beam, and I'll be telling you about my demonstration before long. I did have an actual lesson today, but I've kind of like a little bit gone way off script, but it ties in to what we're talking about anyway. We all have the power. We have all the power in the world at our disposal. Please know that and remember that. Don't think of yourself as powerless. I do remember a 12-step program that had me saying for about 10 years, I'm powerless. And I don't think that was the best thing to have me say. It would have been better if they said you were powerless when you were intoxicated or something, but we are powerful beings, and we can heal our lives. We have so many gifts have been given to us. Have you ever noticed how everyone seems to be looking for a quick answer? In today's talk, we're talking about a magic lamp. So we'll say a magic lamp. People are looking for some magic thing, thinking all their problems will be solved when they find it, the magic lamp, the magic person. With the lamp, you just have to rub it and make a wish. So let's stay with that theme for a moment. So let's imagine stumbling upon one of these lamps on your daily walk. You pick it up, you give it a rub, and this magical genie appears like the one in The Secret. And the genie says, congratulations, you've unlocked unlimited potential and the secret to transforming your life. But here's the twist. It's already within you, as I've said so many times today. No wishes are needed, just belief, intention, and action. I told you I'm doing this affirmative process for myself right now. And all I need is belief, intention, and then take the action I need to take. Keep the belief. So you're picking up this imaginary lamp right before you, and you realize, oh my God, it's already in me. So you don't have to ask for any free trips to any exotic places or a lifetime supply of cologne or pizza or whatever it is. It turns out that the real magic isn't in the lamp. It's in the power of your own thinking and your beliefs, which I believe I've said to you today so many times. So in a way, we're all walking around with an invisible lamp within us, just waiting for us to discover the genie within us, the power that's there. I'm telling you, most people in the world do not believe it. They believe in lack and limitation, and they believe, woe is me, and ain't it awful, and they're all caught up into that. And that's not what we teach. So you come into a teaching like this, Edwina Gaines taught me so many years ago. She says, I look to see the good in the God, and the God in the good. She would use those words interchangeably. I'm here to see the good, the God. She was a prosperity teacher. But that one line of hers really helped me a lot, because she understood that we live, move, and we have our being in it. So people can be talking all kinds of stuff around her that's, disconcerting, unpleasant. But she's looking to see the pony in this conversation with the good and the God in it, because that's what she's here to see. She's truly a lifter in life. And that was a very important lesson for me to get. So no matter how darn awful it might be for any given moment, any given day, we're called as religious science practitioners to be lifters, to see the good in the God. I have a little reading for you. It's called The Power Within. This reminds me of Louise, hey, deep within the center of my being, there is this infinite well. So this reading says, deep within each of us lies a well of power that's so immense, so profound, that it can transform the very fabric of reality, your health, your wealth, your life situation. This power, as Ernest Holmes suggests in The Science of Mind, is the creative force of the universe itself. You have the creative force of the universe itself in you. And it flows through us as effortlessly as the river flows to the sea. It is the same power that Catherine Ponder speaks of in the Dynamic Laws of Prosperity, where she urges us to recognize the divine source of our abundance. Recognize God in me is the source of my abundance. Then there was Florence Scovel Shinn, who you've all heard of in the game of life and how to play it. And she reminds us that our words and our thoughts are the brushes to which we paint the canvas of our life. And as we stand by on the threshold of discovery, let us remember that we aren't spectators in this life. We aren't mere spectators of our fate, but each and every one of us are active participants in creating our own life. It's done unto you as you believe, not as I believe or as your mother believed, your sister believed. Your life is a reflection of your beliefs. So it's important to realize that. Please don't defer to everybody. I used to do that when I was younger too. You are an original thinker in the mind of God, an individualization. So you're not a spectator. So start to think about what you want. Start to meditate about your dreams, the things you would like to create, the people you'd like to be with, the things you'd like to do. Because as you continue to focus on this and surround yourself and put yourself in places with other like-minded people, you'll be amazed how things start to shape up for you. So we're not spectators of our fate, but we're active participants in the shaping of our destiny. The stories we tell ourselves all day long are great, and they're also problematic. Every Thursday I ask, what's it been like being you this week? What I'm really attempting to get people to understand is we're always in a conversation with ourselves. So the stories we tell ourselves, the thoughts that we nurture all week long, and the beliefs that we have throughout the week are the very things that are playing out in our life. They also once you get to harness them and change them and gain some control over that conversation, those are the keys that you have to unlock the vast potential that resides within you. So you can tame that donkey. That was a Barker expression. You can get a handle on that internal dialogue. You can learn to be a lifter. You can change that conversation. You can start thinking of yourself as being a really wonderful person, an individualization of God life. You can so raise your whole conversation. And as you do, your life will start to reflect a different reality. So let's start using our power. You have a power and a potential that's as boundless as the universe and inexhaustible as the stars. So as we go forward further into today's lesson, let us do so with open hearts and minds, ready to explore the untapped territories and all the wonder that we have within. Let us be bold like Aladdin, not in seeking external lamps to rub, but in recognizing that the true lamp is always within us. It's always here, deep at the center of your being. The light is within us. Its light is ready to guide us towards our highest good and greatest joy. I was looking at a booklet written by Ernest Holmes, who was the inspiration of all of this today. It was written in 1950. And I'm thinking, well, that's quite a bit older than me still, so that's good. It's a bit older anyway. So it was about Aladdin, and I liked it a bit, so I thought I would create a lesson for you around it today. I want to start with a poem to set the tone. It's entitled The Lamp Within, and here we go. In a world where wonders never cease, where every heart holds a piece of magic deep and true, a light that shines in me and you, there's a lamp not seen but felt. Its glow within, where dreams do melt into reality by our own design. Guided by a hand divine, Aladdin's tale, though old yet fresh, speaks of desires that mesh with the universe's grand plan, revealing the genie that dwells in man. Rub the lamp with faith so bright, believe in the power hidden from sight. For within each soul there lies a spark, ready to ignite, to dispel the dark. This lamp is your heart, it's your mind, it's your will, it's all within you. It's magic, it responds to you, your wishes, its command. Until you see your dreams unfold and take flight, bathed in its ever-growing light, hold it close, this truth so grand, with the universe hand in hand. For you are Aladdin, bold and free, master of your own destiny. Harboring a light within you as boundless as the universe itself, just as Aladdin discovered the genie within the lamp, so too lies an extraordinary power within you and your fellow journeyers. This power, this radiant light, is the essence of your true potential. It's waiting to illuminate the world with its brilliance. As we gather in this virtual sanctuary, let us remember we're all in a transformative journey to rediscover the magnificence that resides within each and every one of us. It's journey not of seeking what's external, but of unveiling the infinite value and potential that's been within us for so long. Together, all of us and our great First Church, in unity with open hearts, with our extended family too, we will explore the depths of our inner worlds, uncovering the treasures that lie within, and learning to use our inner power with wisdom and grace. In doing so, we realize that the greatest adventures and the most profound treasures are not found in distant lands, but within the realms of our own souls. You have come here to express life, all of you. Me too, to express life and to do so creatively and with joy. Ernest Holmes once said, "There is a power for good in the universe, and you can use it." Imagine deep at the center of your being that there is this power, It is a wellspring of all good, all potential, and it's waiting for you to discover it and to tap into it. And it's a source of endless good and possibilities. Louise Hay, whose teachings have been a cornerstone of this particular community, an author who inspired tens of millions of people to uncover their inherent worth and their beauty, their value. She taught us that everything is God in action. Everything is love. She taught us to love ourselves, to love, accept, and approve of ourselves, that we live in it, we move in it, we have our being in it. She showed us the mirror of our souls reflects back the limitless love and the potential that we have. Today, we honor her legacy by embracing the truth that we are all indeed creators of our destiny, authors of our experience, architects of our joy, and cultivators of love in our lives and in the world. We, in this teaching, are so gifted. We have spiritual knowledge. We love ourselves because we have understanding. We are lifters. We're here to see the good in all. We understand that everyone is unfolding in divine, perfect order, right order. I have a little story within the story. It's called The Story of the Garden. So let me share with you this little parable of sorts that echoes the themes of Aladdin's lamp and the truths that I've spoken of already. In a forgotten corner of the world, imagine it, a city by you, lay a fenced garden, untended and overgrown. No one had been there for years. Beneath its surface of all the debris lay seeds of extraordinary beauty and potential. These seeds, much like the dreams within our hearts, require care, belief, the light of attention to break through the soil so they can reach toward the sun. One day, a traveler, weary and disillusioned by the world, stumbled upon this garden, and he stared at it for a day or two and, moved by an impulse, because he had worked in gardens when he was a younger boy. It was a public place, and he found a way, gained permission to clean it up. He began to clear away the debris that's been there for years, the garbage, the weeds, and it made him feel so good to create order. He was inspired to work with the earth. He began to water the dry earth, to nurture the garden with love and patience. As the days turned into more days and weeks, and then into months, some of the neighbors started to become interested and helped by seeing his dedication. The garden transformed before everyone's eyes, blossoming into a spectacle of colors, fragrances, and life. It brought people together. Because of him, it became a place of beauty, showing what belief and care and attention can do. This garden, everyone, is a metaphor for our inner world, a reminder that within us lie seeds of gratefulness, greatness. Seeds of greatness are in everybody, waiting to be nurtured. Like the traveler, we in our teaching can use our energy to tend our garden, to tend our inner landscape, our inner conversation. We can believe in our potential again, and we can watch as our dreams and aspirations blossom into reality, into something greater than we ever imagined. In the spirit of Louise Hay today, since we're talking about power within, I want to invoke her spirit, her wisdom. I love, accept, and approve of myself. Repeat, this is one for all of you. I love, accept, and approve of myself exactly as I am. And then you can next say to yourself, I'll always be the perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange. Again, I love, accept, and approve of myself exactly as I am. Followed by, I love the world the way it is. There's nothing I need to change. I release the past and I forgive everyone. I forgive myself. I forgive everyone. And say to yourself, I am in the process of positive change. I am unfolding in fulfilling ways. Only good can come to me. Again, only good can come to me. I now express health, happiness, prosperity, peace, peace of mind. And I remember each and every affirmation I make today is a seed planted in the garden of mind. Every affirmation and seed that we make today is a seed that's planted in the garden of mind. And now, with a little bit of love, care, belief, and attention, it will grow into the beautiful reality that you so deserve to experience. Returning to the metaphor of Aladdin's lamp one more time. In the timeless tale of Aladdin, a young person of humble beginnings, he encounters a magical lamp. The lamp, seemingly ordinary in appearance, held within it a genie with the power to grant Aladdin 3 wishes. The story unfolds as Aladdin learns the vast potential and responsibility that comes with such power. Through many trials and adventures, as we've all been through, Aladdin discovers that the true magic lies not in the external wonders that the genie provides, but in his own courage, wisdom, and the purity of his heart. Aladdin's journey teaches all of us that while external resources can provide temporary aid, the real transformation and fulfillment always come from within, from the light and the potential each of us holds in our own inner lamp. Let this story remind us of our own inner resources and the incredible power we possess to shape our destiny. Remember that the lamp itself is not the source of magic. The magic lies within you, each and every one of you. How great thou art. The magic lies in your belief, your actions, and your desire to see and create a better world. Each of you holds a lamp in your heart, your hands, the lamp of your heart, your mind, your being. Rubbing this lamp means aligning yourself with your highest vision of yourself, calling forth the genius within you, and then manifest your deepest desires into reality. In closing, as we draw our time together, this has been a fun day for me to put these different things together. Let's engage in an affirmative prayer, embracing the power within and around us. I recognize that the universe is an all-encompassing presence, vibrating with intelligence, love, and so much goodness. This power is the source of all beauty, abundance, and harmony. I am one with it. I'm one with the universe. I'm an integral expression of its infinite capabilities, love, and creativity. From this place of knowing of who I am, of unity, I affirm my inherent power to manifest more joy, health, and prosperity. I'm a beacon of light, love, and peace, drawing to me all that's good. I'm filled with gratitude for everything I know, for this teaching, and for everyone who's in our gathering, everyone who's here to grow and expand, for the beauty of life, and for all the endless opportunities that unfold before me. I give thanks for the realization of all my heart's desires in this beautiful community. And I release this prayer into the universe, knowing it's done. I trust in the divine process of life that beautifully is bringing everything together and the fulfillment of all my affirmations. And so it is. That's it. So I'm really looking forward to hearing your comments, your demonstrations this week, and what it's like being you, how it's all working out. Thank you.